Welcome to class. If you've ever been curious about yoga, you know that there's health benefits and you know you want to start trying it and doing it, but you're just not sure where to start. This is the video for you. So we're going to be doing a gentle warm-up, a little bit of a flow, connecting the breath with movement, and then you'll start to learn the names of the poses as well. So if this is your first time on the mat, don't be scared. You're exactly where you're meant to be, and we'll talk through it together. You don't need any props, straps, blocks, bolsters, blankets, anything. If you have a mat, that's great. Even if you don't have a mat, you can just be on the carpet or on the floor, whatever is comfortable for you. But really, whatever is accessible is most important. We don't need a lot today. What you do need to bring with you is an open mind and an open heart, and that's all you need. We're going to begin on our backs, with our legs bent, soles of the feet touching down on the ground, either the knees apart, or you can gently rest the knees together. Place one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart, and close down the eyes. Take an inhale here. Feel your rib cage expand in your hands. And exhale, open mouth, let it go. Take 2 more breaths like that. Nice and slow. Seal the lips. And begin to just slow down the breath. With every exhale, relax your shoulders down, relax the muscles in the face, and just welcome yourself into this space. And just know that during this class is really the time to just devote to yourself. So try to let go of anything else you have going on in your life right now. And just focus solely on the breath, solely on yourself. That's your task during this video. And that's it. Begin to hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then bring both of the legs over to the right side. Let the knees rest down. You could either keep your eyes open or closed. And begin to extend your left arm out to your side. Your right hand comes to the rib cage. And take a few breaths here. Feel that gentle twist in your spine. Don't worry if your left shoulder lifts up off the ground. It's not important. And then with the help of your right hand, bring your knees back up to center. Hug both knees into the chest. And then take that little twist over to the left. Last breath here. And then bring your knees back through center, all the way over to the right. And then come into a little fetal position. You can use your right bicep as a pillow. And then start to make your way up to a seated position. Cross the legs, just easy cross-legged at the top of your mat. And then place your right hand down on the ground next to you and extend your left arm up over your head for a gentle side bend. And again, either eyes opened or closed. Just feel that sensation in the body. With each inhale here, feel the spaciousness between each rib on the left side. And inhale back up to seated. Left palm touches down, right arm reaches up over your head. Take a few breaths here. With each inhale, lengthen and reach out through the fingertips towards the side room. And inhale back up to center. Start to walk the hands forward, cross over the knees, and come into a tabletop. So here the wrists stack underneath the shoulders, and the knees are under the hips. So you're almost in this table position. Come onto the tops of the feet so the toenail polish side touches down on the mat. And do a few rounds of cat pose and cow pose. So first inhale, let the belly sink down, reach the tailbone up towards the sky. And then exhale, start to push the ground away, protract the shoulders away from each other, and tuck the chin to the chest, round the back. Inhale forward, let the belly sink, and exhale, round the back. And now start to introduce a little bit more movement in the hips. Maybe bring the hips down towards the heels. Maybe bend one elbow. Feel a little twist in the spine, and then bend the other as you come back. And just start to explore a little bit more movement in the hips, in the wrists, in the shoulders. Don't worry about how silly this looks, or if you're practicing next to somebody, don't worry what they're doing. Just focus on yourself. Notice that sensation in the body as you start to wake up the joints, the muscles, and just the overall awareness around where your body sits in space. Find a little bit more stillness here in the tabletop, and then step the feet back, straighten the legs, lift the knees for high plank. So from here, the hips are a little bit higher than what would be a straight line. So you want the hips to be almost as high as the shoulders. Press onto the inside part of the hand, so you take the weight off the cartilage outside of the wrist. Just a little bit of a core warm up for a moment. Start to pull your toes closer to your wrists. You could always set your knees down if you need to. And then inhale, lift the hips, push the ground away for downward dog. Soften both knees as you start to pull your chest towards your quads. And then gently begin to straighten the legs. It's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. So we're creating this upside down V shape with our bodies. So we have almost a straight line from our wrists to our hips, and then our hips to our ankles. Then begin to walk your hands towards your feet, forward fold, back of the mat. Cross your arms in front of your chest, ragdoll. So swing gently from left to right as you sway your body. Bend one knee and then the other. Come back to center, release the hands, soften both knees, and roll up one vertebrae at a time. All the way to standing, arms reach up overhead, palms touch, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, hands to the shins, and exhale, start to walk your hands forward, back to downward dog. Inhale, shift forward to high plank. Gently set the knees down and lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes and inhale, lift the chest, baby cobra. So you should be able to lift your hands up off the mat and just utilize the muscles in your back to keep your chest lifted. So the neck is neutral, the gaze is down just a couple inches above the mat, and the glutes are engaged. Last breath here. And exhale, lower down. Pull the hips back towards the heels for child's pose. Start to walk your fingertips forward. Feel that length in your spine. And then begin to lift the hips. Tuck the toes under, downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and walk to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Heart reaches forward, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften the knees, come all the way up to standing. Arms reach. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, step your right foot back about 45 degrees. Your right heel will touch down on the ground. Both legs are straight for pyramid pose. So if you can't get your right heel down on the ground, then just shorten your stance by bringing your right foot forward a few inches until you can straighten both legs and your right heel touches down. If you can't reach your fingertips down on the ground, you can just let them hover above the mat or on a couple of blocks if you have them. Round the back as you begin to bring your nose closer to your left knee. And then inhale, halfway lift, and step the right foot to the back of the mat. Gently set down the right knee, untuck the toes, and inhale, hands will come to your left thigh. Start to push the hips forward and down. So now we're stretching the front side of our right hip flexor. And ideally we have not too much strain on the left ankle, so if you can stack the left ankle underneath the left knee, you might need to change the stance. And then start to pull the hips back towards the right heel for half splits. So the left toes point up towards the sky. So you flex the left foot, so you have that engagement of the left hamstring. And a slight micro bend of the left knee. And then begin to lift the chest, tuck the right toes under, and then we're going to straighten both legs and pivot the feet for prasarita. So straighten the leg, lift the right knee up, pivot the feet forward, standing forward, straddle fold. You can just let gravity do the work here. You don't have to push or pull your body into anything. And inhale, halfway lift. The heart reaches up. And then as you exhale, bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight. For spider lunge or skandasana. It's okay if your right heel lifts up off the ground, whatever feels better on the right hip. And then begin to walk your hands towards the front of the mat as you frame your left foot, and then step your left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Gently set the knees down, lower all the way down to the mat, untuck the toes, and then interlace the hands behind the back, and inhale, lift the chest, locust pose with C arms. If you want to lift your thighs up off the mat, you can as well. We're here for just one more breath. And exhale, lower everything down. The wrists come underneath the shoulders as you press the hips back, child's pose. Walk the fingertips forward. And then lift the hips, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Strong legs come all the way up to standing. Take your time to get there. Take the full length of the breath. Arms reach, palms touch. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step the left foot back for pyramid pose. Right leg is forward, micro bend in the right knee. And exhale, melt down over the right thigh. Again, if that left heel doesn't touch the ground, I recommend just shortening the stance by bringing the left foot towards the front of the mat a couple of inches. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat for low lunge. Gently set down the left knee, untuck the left toes, and the hands come to the right thigh. Start to shift the hips forward and down. And then begin to pull the hips back towards the left heel. Straighten the right leg for half splits. Right toes point up towards the sky. Either fingertips down on the ground or again on some blocks if you have them. It's not totally necessary, but what we're looking for here, the functionality of this pose is to stretch mostly the right hamstring and the right calf. So if you flex the right foot, melt down over the right leg. And inhale, halfway lift. Start to tuck the left toes under, straighten both legs, pivot the feet, standing forward, straddle fold on the other side. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, start to bend the left knee for spider lunge to the left. Right leg is straight, left leg is bent. And start to walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Frame the right foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left. High plank. Gently set the knees down. Lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes. And inhale back to baby cobra. Chest lifts off. And exhale, lower down. Push the hips back to the heels. Child's pose. And then lift the hips. Downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. So you have a straight line from your left heel down to the left wrist, and you flex the left foot. And then come up high on the ball of the right foot as you shift forward, shoulders stack over wrists, hug the knee to the nose, pull the thigh into the chest, and then flex the left foot, step it between the hands, and inhale, rise up for crescent. So you almost want to have 90 degrees with that left leg. So you try to sit the hips a little lower. And then exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step the left foot back. Same exhale. Gently set the knees down. Lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Push back, child's pose. And inhale, downward dog. Inhale again, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward, step it between the hands, and rise up for warrior two. Right foot is going to pivot down to the ground, extend and reach the arms to the front and back of the room. Try to ground down the knife edge of the right foot and send all the energy out the fingertips. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground, frame the left foot, step the left foot back, same exhale, either knees up or down, lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, push it back, child's pose. Downward dog. Start to move with the breath a little bit more. Inhale, left leg, one more time. And exhale, step it between the hands. Inhale, lift up for crescent. And then palms together, hands at the heart. Start to shift forward. Your right foot is going to float off for warrior 3. So in warrior 3, you almost want to create the shape of a T with your body, so a straight line from the crown of your head to your right heel. And inhale, we're going to rise all the way up to standing. Try not to touch your right foot down on the ground as we come into tree pose. So you could either grab onto your right ankle and place it to the inside of your left thigh. You could also just place it on the inside of your calf, or you could also just kickstand that right foot. So the height of the foot doesn't matter as long as it's not on the knee. So go above or below or kickstand, your choice. 2 more breaths here, wherever you're at. And all together, inhale, arms rise to the sky. Bring the right knee to the chest and exhale back to warrior 3. Try to move slowly with control. Extend that right leg straight back and then rebend the left knee. Inhale to crescent, arms to the sky, and exhale, hands down to the mat. Same exhale, step the left foot back, either knees up or down, lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, push the hips back to the heels, child's pose. And downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Hold it here for 2 breaths. Start to push the ground away. Get that straight line from your right heel down to the wrist. Feel that stretch in your left hamstring. And then come up high on the ball of the left foot. Shift forward, shoulders stack over wrists. Hug the thigh into the chest. Push the ground away. Flex the right foot, step it between the hands. And inhale, rise up to crescent. Slight bend in the left knee to decompress the lower back. And exhale, hands come down to the ground. Step the right foot back. You know the drill. Make your way all the way to downward dog. You can always skip these. You can just take child's pose, or you can just lift the hips straight to down dog. Your choice. As always, make the practice feel good for you. Back in downward dog, inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step it between the hands. Inhale, cartwheel the arms open, warrior 2. Left heel pivots down to the ground. Send all the energy out the fingers. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step the right foot back, high plank, and we'll meet in downward dog. However you get there is perfect. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward and through, step it between the hands. Inhale, rise up to crescent. And palms together, hands at the heart as you shift forward to warrior 3. Left foot slowly floats off. You have that straight line from the crown of your head to your left heel. You're using the muscles in your back to keep your chest lifted. Keep a slight micro bend in the right knee. Create a little more stability. And inhale, rise all the way up to standing as you find your way into tree pose. Whatever height of the left foot feels best for you. Once the foot is there, press the hands together at the chest. Begin to lift the heart, feel the spine lengthen. And then inhale, arms to the sky, left thigh to the chest. And exhale back, Warrior 3, just one breath, clean it up. Start to rebend the right knee, set the left foot to the back of the mat, inhale to crescent. And exhale, hands down to the ground, step the right foot back, high plank. Last time through, we'll meet in downward dog. As you inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and walk your hands all the way through to the front of the mat. We're going to come into a seated position. So extend the legs straight out in front of you. Inhale, arms to the sky. Flex both feet so the toes are reaching back towards your head or up towards the ceiling. And exhale, forward fold. And as you melt down, try to round the back a little bit more instead of keeping it a stiff board. Try to round the back. So let the chin melt down towards the chest. And that'll increase the stretch along your whole back, not just the low back and the lumbar. It might not feel like you're doing much in this forward fold, but you're doing a lot. You're stretching everything along the whole back side of your body, the whole back line, posterior fascial line. From your bottom of your feet, your Achilles tendon, calf, hamstring, low back, all the way up over your head. It even comes all the way to your eyebrows. There's a lot of stretching going on here. Start to walk your hands back towards your hips, and then bring the soles of the feet together for a little butterfly pose. You can grab onto the feet, and then let the chest melt down. Just a couple breaths here. Let the hips open, and let the heart melt down towards the ground. Then lift the chest. Hold on to the outsides of both knees. Bring the knees back together. And then make your way all the way down to the mat. Extend your legs out for your final pose of practice, which is Shavasana, as always. Corpse pose. So the palms face up towards the sky. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under. Relax the muscles in the feet, in the hands, the muscles in the face, in the neck. Start to slow down your breath. And just ease yourself into this relaxation where you let go of control. And your only task is to focus on the breath. Nothing else for you to do. I recommend that you stay here for a couple of minutes. Feel free to pause the video and just rest as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. Thank you for giving yoga a try and just exploring how it feels in your body to move, to breathe, and to devote time to yourself. with love and gratitude. Namaste.